Good morning, good afternoon, good night to all who may be watching. This is another scene in Lwod, the Vampire Venue, The Edge of War. This is Max, who is going to be visiting the Undertaker for some reason that he will explain to people who are watching in a bit. Awesome. Max, what you up to?
Max arrives at that bar. He is very ready for this meeting. He wants to solve some problems. He arrives with his wearing his jacket and like he tells the guards that he wishes to meet with the Undertaker. He looks around to see if there's anybody like he knows because this bar is a vampire bar. But he is like looking around and then asking to meet with the man himself.
Um, as you look around, you don't necessarily find anyone in particular that would stand out that you know, but you do see just an absolute crazed mob of several different factions just filling out. They seem to, uh, unconsciously segregate themselves. Like you can generally tell who is Sabat, who's Camarilla, and you don't see very many of them mixing, but the ones that do seem to be enjoying themselves.
Who's, for example, like this guy? Do I know him?
This is the bodyguard at the front curtain where the
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker is.
He goes near him and says, "I wish to meet with the Undertaker."
Ah, you have returned.
I
I
did.
I can only assume that you were satisfied with your last visit.
I was. Thank you. Sorry for my behavior. I was a bit angry, but let's. I have more things to do if it's possible.
That is quite, how do you say, um, acceptable. We understand. Here is the document to enter. He kind of grabs a roll of piece of paper and gives it to
Uh-huh.
you.
He takes the paper.
Yep. Please sign there at the dotted line.
Yes, I will give him a service if I agree. Thanks.
Thank you. He grabs the paper and slides it into a little tray. You may enter. And he opens up the curtains.
Yeah, the last time Max walked into these curtains, it was a very frustrating because he walked like a 30 minutes. He looks from the windows again to seize this weirdness, but then he walks, continue to find the door.
Yep. This time you walk for about 5 minutes before the distortion stops and you find yourself face to face with the door.
He opens the door after knocking it.
You may come in.
He waits there and then enters. He stands, Sir Undertaker. It's me, Max, from the Anarchs.
Hello again. It is nice to see you.
Thanks. May I sit?
Please,
He sits.
would you like a cup of scotch while you're here waiting?
No, thanks. I drink a lot today. I don't want to drink more, but I have a couple questions, and I hope that we can come to an agreement, a mutual agreement.
He kind of sits down, grabs his palms together, and kind of puts them down in a very like business type fashion.
Hmm. Max is old business as well, and he says, "We need information as anarchs. We can't let the other factions get ahead of us. The Baron Belenko is offering new opportunities, and I want to make sure we don't get destroyed by the two factions. This requires strategic strikes, and strategic strikes requires information. Which way are you coming, sir?
I can understand this.
I have heard that your organization stays out of any trouble and takes no sides.
That is correct.
May I ask why? Just to understand.
I have lived a long time. I have been through many wars. I have sided myself with factions, and I have rebelled against other factions. I am tired of it. I am at the point in my life to where I want stasis. I want neutrality. I do not want any fighting or bickering at my doorstep. Think of me as the 80-year-old man living in your neighborhood who yells at the kids to get off their lawn, if that helps.
I understand, good sir, but I don't you think that status would be better if there's only one side who won?
Absolutely not. It would be bad for business.
So you profit from everybody.
Of course, just like gun dealers profit from war. So do I.
So
Except
you
I have
don't.
a lethal version.
So you have no interest in seeing the war end.
I have no interest in seeing it end due to any, how do I say,
Towards any side's benefits, you just don't want to take a side and see what happens and keep making money.
essentially, I do not care what side wins, and I do not care how long it goes. If the war ends, so be it. It is not really of my concern, but I will have no hand in it. Frankly, if this war stops, it is of no real measure. I can find business elsewhere, doing other things. But for now, I do find myself in quite a opportune position.
I agree. I actually would prefer to be in your position, but I just want to ask: would there be interest that you may have if said the war ends and you find yourself in a position where you wish to have things from certain place, certain government that is put in place? Let's say the Sabat won the war and we are all gone. What would you require from that? What would you want from that winner?
I would require
Or
that no one and no applicable action would be held in my sanctum. This building, this few stretch of land, is my independent zone. Once you walk upon, there is no war, there is no aggravation, there is good times, and there is scotch. There's civility. As soon as you step onto this land, you are a civil being.
Mhm.
And that's all I require.
What if one side says that that is acceptable for our future, and we wish to give you a formal promise that that will be your land?
All sides have agreed upon this so far.
Hmm. Maybe we can make it as a bigger land.
I do not require bigger land. This building is quite nice.
That's understandable. Then what would you ask in return for such aid?
I do not need such aid.
No, I'm asking, we need your aid.
Oh, you need aid.
Yes, I say that the anarchs are
Well, the question, it is the question of what aid do you need?
the they need to win this war. It's I do not have a job or a way to find and give information to people. I am simply in here to make sure my freedom is not taken away from me and not blood bonded to some elders.
Well,
And it will be very good to have someone more lenient towards our side. Such alliance can benefit.
I will be lenient to no side. I will strike the best bargains anybody is willing to come with. And that
What
is
if
simple.
he's not going to cut him off?
And that is as simple as that.
But what if we offer, like, would there be any price to have that leniency towards one side?
I do agree that such deals are plausible, although to request my personal aid in helping with one side of a war is, how do you say, quite steep of a price, as I have already made my previous statement clear that I do wish no part in picking sides.
The maybe we can make a different deal. That you don't wish to fight, and your personal aid is if you want to remain in peace, that's quite fine. But to make you more lenient towards one side. That you do not wish to be, that's fine, but maybe there can be found a way where the Undertaker and his establishment is more lenient towards helping anarchs. Doesn't have not everybody has to know about it anyway.
I am afraid that my leniency is already at the utmost that I can be for any side.
Uh, Quite sad.
Well, you may see that, but at the same time, how more lenient can I get than offering all information that I know? It doesn't get more lenient than that unless you're directly asking me to fight.
Then what would be the price that we will have to pay if we ask that?
For me to fight with you.
Yes.
He kind of stands up and kind of pushes his chair and walks towards a bookshelf on his left. Kind of like runs his fingers down the soles of some of the books. Hmm. What would be a good price? I suppose if you truly had your heart set on me fighting in this war, my price would be all of the elders on the factions.
All of the elders, as in,
If there's an elder in the city, I want them.
for personal use, I presume.
Yes, that is correct. Meaning, if you were to request my personal aid in battling, you would have to capture, alive, all the elders in the city of the Sabbat, Camarilla, and you'd even have to offer up or capture the ones in your city. Would you be willing to do this?
You said if I want you at my side, if we will fight together, and if we capture an elder, I will just give them to you.
No, not if you capture an elder. I require all of them.
And you mean that if I give you all the elders, then you will join me in the war?
Mm, I wouldn't say straight out, but you'd have to guarantee that you could get them all. And if you can't guarantee it, or if you can't get them all after having said made promise, then I will simply turn on you.
That's a deal that I can't give to you, sadly.
I told you, it would be a steep price to ask for personal aid.
Hmm. How? What will be the price of the information regarding the chantry of Sabbat? I heard there's a Sabbat Tremiers.
Hmm, let me think. He sits back down at his desk. If I were to give you said information, I would require information on exactly what they're doing in the chantry.
What do you mean by exactly what they're doing, Mister?
Well, after that explosion that had happened over on Liberty Island, it seems that they have brought things back and are doing interesting new rituals. I have no information on these, whereas I would like to. If I give you this information on where they are, I would need direct feedback on what they are doing.
So I believe that there's information in the chantry regarding this because they probably would have done some rituals or whatever. So if we get the information, we basically need to steal those things from inside.
Correct.
And
Is this something you are able to do?
I'm not sure. I need to plan an attack because I can't sneak in there. Not that good at it.
Well, you can always come back once you have a plan, and the same deal will be on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Undertaker. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Come back anytime, Sir Max.
I wonder a question. I just do you give the service of teaching disciplines as well?
I do.
Which disciplines are on the table?
All of them.
I beg your pardon?
All of them.
You have all of them.
Me, personally, no. But I have people who have some that I cannot acquire.
Hmm.
I do have a large portion of them at my personal use.
I just wonder a question. I don't know the price of this question, but what is the level of a threat that I'm seen as by the factions? Do I am even known?
Hmm. Are you asking the level of fame you have in the underground world?
Mm, against the suburb Sabat and Camarilla. As in, like, yeah, there's a guy named Max. He's a kick ass, I guess, type of thing.
From my knowledge, I have heard of a few people talking about you. mostly in negative ways, of
Not
course.
surprised.
There are several Sabat who wish your head.
Not surprised.
I will give you that for free, since it
Thank you.
was a really simple question. And in return, actually, you know what? I won't give that to you for free. He puts a bottle of, like a little bottle of scotch on the table, puts a
Mhm.
glass kind of in front of you, and pours you like a little bit of scotch. There. That is my fee. Have some scotch.
What do I need to do?
Have some scotch.
Max smells the scotch before he drinks.
It smells like scotch. Kind of like those candies that your grandma always has.
Yeah,
Uh,
he takes a sip.
it's bitter, but other than that, strong. Is there any more information you would like to ask?
I am thinking. But thank you. Thank you a lot. I think I will come back with more plans and then
My doors are always open, sir.
he nods and then with your permission I would like to leave.
You may.
And he does.
And as you leave, the bodyguard gives you a head nod and closes the curtain.
And I think that can be the moment we end our scene.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another very wonderful episode in Lwod.